This will be a short video about strange case of Mr. Wim van Wegen. He's a journalist of GIM International. This is a magazine dealing with geodata, and here's an email related to what happened to, actually it's a strange case of his Twitter account. This is a email that's sent to the head of geodata institution in Serbia, because he's trying to steal part of my property and give it to the monstrous murderer of 3 members of my family. There is a video on who she is. It's called "Who is a psych patient." So in previous email sent on March 19 of March this year, I explained here that before he committed a fraud, I mean, he acknowledged that because he's he's the head of that institution, and of course he also needed to have permission from the ministry which is in charge, and I think it's Ministry of well, I don't remember which ministries, but it's some ministry. So he changed that, committed a fraud. Basically, the judge who also committed a fraud, so judge broke like 10 laws at the same time. He judge who was responsible, who was in charge for inheritance proceeding for my late father, and he changed the notes of proceedings, which is illegal. So decision need to contain all the notes. Ignore that police sent which it's still there. So police sent a criminal report after I reported them to Interpol. It's forwarded. So police forwarded my report on monstrous murders of 3 members of my family to prosecution, meaning that in that very case there is a reasonable doubt. It would not be the same if I did it. I did it before that, but they haven't responded. So with having reasonable doubt, you cannot get away with it. So you need to deal with that before any criminal proceedings, according to the law of inheritance. So this is one thing, and another, actually second thing, and the third thing. So the third thing is that they still haven't sent the full complaint to the other 2 participants in proceedings, the other 2 people who should inherit part of my father's property. This is my brother and so-called stepmother. I explained why she's so-called in videos on my channel, YouTube channel. So it's here. So this guy, I'll show you later his picture. So he tried to, and they are still trying. I mean, it's changed, but it doesn't have any legal power, if I can say it in that way. And on top of everything, even military threatened. threatened me. So it was a major of military police from the city where I live. He called me a day before he committed a fraud by changing this illegally, so ownership of part of my property. Yeah, I have finished the part with my complaint. So my complaint contained part of it was, and there is also video on that. Part of it was recorded Skype call. So according to the law, the whole complaint need to be forwarded to all the participants, because if you don't do that, they cannot know if there is some part that they should complain about, that they are not they are not agree about, and so on and so on. So this is another reason why it's not possible to change the ownership. I mean that part which is third of the property. And I was referring to that I will report everything he's doing. This guy is actually not from Serbia, he's from Montenegro. So this is the guy, but I have local pictures, another article. So I reported everything to, actually I haven't reported it, but I accessed I was looking at the Twitter account of this journalist. So he's a content manager at Wegen International, and because intelligence is watching, I'm on their watch list, they are watching what I'm doing, they figured out I will contact him, and this is what happened. First, this account is temporarily restricted, because I already explained in other videos why they cannot why Twitter cannot block me, as I on Twitter I reported international organized crime to Interpol and they ignored me, so I'm basically witness of international organized crime. So, and then this account was suspended. I think this was so I checked out the day before I wrote the mail. It was temporarily restricted, and of course, because it was temporarily restricted, I checked out what this journalist was posting. It was some regular stuff, as you will see, because I saved everything. It was in cache, in web cache, so there was nothing problematic. And later, I mean, I checked his account several days ago, and everything was okay. So it was not suspended anymore. But I don't know if suspension means it's temporary. So let's see what happened to ex-president. So Trump's Twitter suspended. Permanent suspension. Yeah. Let's see how this looks like. Maybe BBC. Can answer that or show the picture. What's happening? Yeah, account suspended. Okay. What's this? I have two messages. Okay. So this is how it looks like. DJT desk. Maybe there is another picture. Blah 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 blah. Okay, nothing. Okay, let's see again what was that announcement. Wow. So it doesn't say here it's temporary, so they decide on that later. Okay, let's see what's here. Suspend account which violate the Twitter rules. Okay, so it's the same, but they decide later whether it should be suspended or not. And regarding the Twitter, I will upload the video, which parts will be blurred because it's a video of it's a trailer of German orgies, so German porn, hard porn, from popular German porn company called Sperma Studio, to show that actually rules of what the YouTube calls it, sensitive content or something like that, disturbing content, are rubbish, because you can access that, as you will see in my video. So it will be called Sperma Studio. German orgies no sign in. Twitter Sperma Studio German orgies no sign in. Login needed, and so that part is rubbish. And this is not the only account on Twitter that can actually provides porn content without any restrictions, and those restrictions regarding the which are implemented using sign-in or something like that, these are complete rubbish. So okay, this should have been a short video, but obviously it won't be, as it develops in different directions. Okay, so let's see. Where is the where's the folder? Okay, maybe before I show the folder, I should show the video, which is a Skype call with of the talk I had with one of the staff of GIM International. Something's wrong here. Yeah, so YouTube is again shadow banning me while I'm logged in. I don't know why is this happening. There are two videos on that. Maybe it's a bug, but I have some I have another video proving that they're shadow banning some sensitive content from this channel. So let's see, where is GIM? Yeah, here it is. So this is my call to entry. So this is the guy.
Here it is.
He's the director of a geospatial data institution in Serbia. But of course, somebody above him ordered him to do so. He's also Templar Knight, I mean Satanist. So you will hear in this, it's in English, you will hear that I asked them, actually notify them that they need to, because this has
the guy who
this has to do with international organized crime. They need to publish a démenti when I send them the data. So we'll see what will happen. And let's see, Wegen, desktop, Wegen, no. Here it is. Okay, so maybe it's best first to show what they were trying here. What was what sort of mess that was. So you will see here what were they doing, how many changes were there, because they were trying in every possible way to change this. So this was first on my father's, and they are trying this since 7th of November last year. So this is what they did. They're constantly changing. So they started the procedure. There was a decision, again procedure, then the procedure was stopped, terminated, and then there was another decision. The day after, major from police, military police called me. So it was 10th of March, and this is 11th of March. But this decision was not. So the date was when this is up. When I screenshot, date of this screenshot is 13th of March. So they said here that there is a decision, but it's not final, and they're trying everything to make it final, and they did that. So this is the date, screenshot. So it's still not final. And it was final in 20. Let's see, what was the last date? 25th of or May. This is when they changed that. So they are basically preventing all the people who know me, even my own brother. They received, there is a separate video on that, they received threats, probably that they will kill them, and they needed to stop every communication with me because they owe me some money, and basically they because I wasn't able to work. I was working only on this case which I wasn't paid for. I should be paid because I'm working actually something that should be done by state prosecution, the highest level of state prosecution, called Republic State Prosecution, but they are simply ignoring me. So they threatened, so these were death threats, there is a video on that, to my mother and my brother, so that they stopped contacting me, and they could do that only if there were death threats. Okay, so that was the strange case of Mr. Van Wegen, part related to geodata changes in the geodata database. And let's see who this guy is. I think that I've shown. Yeah, maybe I should show again this. Okay. So once again, this is account of Mr. Wegen, and as you can see, this is strictly business. This was something from Webcache, because at that time it was suspended. So in one day they suspended it. First it was restricted for no reason, and then it was suspended. So it's strictly business. Some conferences, hosting, photogrammetry, and so on and so on. Yeah. So nothing strange here. This is again his account. Temporarily restricted and suspended. Okay, so let's see who this guy is, who is the director of Geodata Institution in Serbia. So it says Red Borko, his name is Borko. So as I said, he's from Montenegro. So he's an immigrant, or at least his parents were immigrants, and he somehow thinks that he can control my life. I mean, seriously impact my life. So, as we can see here, this guy is a communist, is a commie, and he already had a huge list of various criminal crime acts. And as I said, he's a Templar, Satanist. He's involved with other criminals from current political party which is in power here in Serbia. So this is the article that Mr. Wegen wrote. It says here by Wim van Wegen. So I'm not saying that he did anything on purpose, that he has anything to do with this suspension. I'm just stating that it was very, very weird. And again, this is the guy, that commie. And it's very interesting that the other guy, who is also the main person who is protected here, so the person who murdered 3 members, monstrously murdered 3 members of my family, is not actually the one who is really protected. Is the other guy who is closest associate to all the former president of Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milosevic. So this is the guy. Okay, so I think that's all. Yeah, I actually have I recorded the current status of his account. So let's see the date. So it was 2 days ago. Yeah, this is another proof. That's the real date. This is Mr. Wegen's. So it works without any problem. And maybe I should just play it from the beginning. So okay, that was it, and I think that I covered everything. Yeah.